Good morning, everybody, and bienvenidos to this workshop. My name is Antonella Ghisu, and I'm Italian. Can you hear me good? Yeah. Any other Italian in this room? Any French? Any English? Any American? Germans? Brazilian? Anyway, we definitely are in an international room. Now, those of you who felt excited and amazed when you just arrived in Barcelona, can you please raise your hands? Did you feel any excitement? Yeah? Good. It's like a beautiful city, beautiful weather, the sun, the mountain, beach, paella, sangria, tapas. There are lots of reasons to be excited. Now, how many of you felt fear and uncertainty? Nobody? Well, okay, that's good. If you felt in any moment a bit of fear or uncertainty, it's completely normal. Why? Because we are naturally programmed to feel fear for several reasons. Today, I'm here to try to make you understand why you feel or you felt in this way and try to give you some tools to deal with this change, with balance, with happiness, and with enthusiasm. But first, a little bit about myself. As I said before, I'm Italian. I'm from Sardinia, and I've changed country, languages, and job several times. First, when I was young, pretty, and single, and after, when I was not so young, not so pretty, and married. I'm married to an Irish guy, and I have two kids. One was born in Italy, and one here in Spain. So I know exactly how challenging and delicate can be this change. Let's say that I know that due to a personal reason, and I know that because I work every day with the expats. I'm a life coach, and I'm an expert in change management. I help people to understand what they want and why they want it. So I help them to create a an action plan, to achieve the goals that they want in their personal or professional life. So how we do that? Through powerful questions that push you for like a self-reflection and to a self-knowledge of what they are and what they want to be. So we work with values, with beliefs, with fears, with mental blocks, and I actually help my client to pass from A situation to B situation. Since the last 3 years, I've been working with the RS Relocation, which is a relocation company who offer a range of services to help individuals or company employees in their transition and their relocation process. So we take care about lots of stuff. Let's say we start with house finding until signing a lease. Then we take care of national and international papers. We take care of immigration papers and school finding. On top of all of this service, we offer coaching processes as help and support to our clients and their family, just to manage and to deal better, not just with the practical transfer, but also with the emotional part of the transfer that we recognize is very important. So we give them tools to try to deal better with this sometimes difficult transition. And today, I would love to talk about three main reasons. The cultural shock, the fear of leaving the comfort area, and the reason why we fear change. Let's start with the cultural shock. And let's try to go a little bit back just to see what happened when we move in abroad. The cultural shock is like the first impact that we have when we just arrive in another country. So we actually experience lots of emotions, all type of emotion, like we are in a roller coaster. As you can see here in this graph, it's widely recognized that there are 4 stages of the cultural shock. So the first stage is the honeymoon stage, or honeymoon phase. Why? Because we're very excited. We are like, wow, amazing. You're like very happy of your new life. However, like in a real honeymoon, it will always come to a end. And then you pass to the frustration time or the crisis, let's say. Why? Because you're not so comfortable anymore. You started to feel like a little bit uncomfortable with your situation. Why? Because sometimes maybe you're a little bit frustrated because you go and you can't order food in a restaurant, or maybe because you go to a doctor, you can't explain what's wrong with you, or you lose your key and you don't know what to do. So you feel a little bit discontent and disconnect. And actually in this phase, you can start to miss your family and your friend and idealize the life that you had before. After can you see like the curves go down, and then just here it starts to go up again, and we've passed to the adjustment phase. The adjustment phase is just that phase that you started to say like, well, I'm okay. I like my new life, I like this environment, and I'm confident with that. And then you go up again till the last phase, which is the adaptation phase. That's you're like, okay, this is great. I'm completely, adapted to my new life, and I like it. So the aim of this is obviously to make the transition of the honeymoon phase until the adaptation phase as quick and easy as possible. How? Just accepting there is a path that we have all to go through. There is no way. You need to pass all of these phases and just accept it. Obviously, it depends a lot on the way that you see the reality that you live in, no? The enthusiasm that you put it in there. And if you actually think, like, when we have to change life, we don't feel very comfortable with that. Why? Because we have to leave our comfort area. And our comfort area is a place where we are cozy, we are very comfortable. So there is a learning model. There was a psychologist, Sinegard, that explained that there is a learning model, and as you can see, there are 3 zones: the comfort zone, the learning zone, and the panic zone. The comfort area is like the area where we are familiar with knowledge, with life, with people, with environment, with our job. We are familiar, and we feel okay. We have no risk, like everything is controlled. This area, there is nothing bad with this area. What happened in this area? That we're not pushed to learn and to grow as person. So that's why we will have to move to the learning zone, which is like the area where you should start to feel curiosity, to feel very, how can you say, to feel curiosity to experience other stuff, other things, other new experience. This is the growing zone. So this is the zone where our skills are stretched. Our abilities are stretched, and we have to move to learn new ones. So whatever we learn in this area, when we get familiar with what we're learning, it will pass straight away into the comfort area. So it's new ability and new skills that is under your control, let's say. And then we have the panic zone. We don't want to talk about that because we don't like the panic zone. Panic zone is risk, uncertainty, danger, and there are lots of negative emotion that we don't want to. The aim of this learning model is we need to think that if we want to grow up and get better, we need to take experiences like learning experiences, trying to push yourself out trying to be resilient, to develop your resilience, to develop your curiosity, your adaptability. As you can see, this is very visual. This is your comfort zone. So what you have to do, where the magic happens, just outside your comfort zone. So you need to move to get to know the unknown. The other reason that we mentioned the 3 points of this workshop. So why do we fear change? Maybe because the change means loss. Loss is always behind change. If we change, we pass to another situation, is just because maybe the other one didn't work, the previous one didn't work, we didn't like it. Or maybe just because it's a decision of your company to move you abroad. Lack of information. We actually have resistance to change because we know what we live in, but we don't know what we're going through, what we're going to find at. So the resistance is one of the biggest fears. Uncertainty is one of the biggest men's fears. And sometimes we don't like it. But uncertainty is one of the things that actually invite you to see other perspective, invite you to your creative thinking, develop your creative thinking. Fear of being wrong. What if I was wrong and the decision that I made was the right one or was the ideal? Fear of failure. This is one of the most paralyzing fears that we have. What if I fail? What kind of pain I will feel when I fail? Obviously, it is very, very tremendous fear, but it only exists in our mind. And fear of disappointing the other. How many of you, for example, just came here, not just by yourself, but with your family, with your couple, with your partner? So you actually feel responsible, not just for you, but you feel responsible for the rest of your family. And that's a big responsibility. So you have to deal not with your feeling, but with the feeling of your gang. What can we do then? So we know we have all this fear. This fear are here, ready to attack us. They're there. So ready to, wow, I'm going to jump on you. So what can we do to manage the fear of change? Today, I would love to give you briefly some tools or some idea that we can discuss deeply into another place that I hope that it will help you. The first solution or the first responsibility that we have the power to choose how to look to our new reality. So the lens that you're going to use it to see your reality, they're different. So you can look with this lens and you see a reality. You can look with this other lens and you see another reality. So this depends on perspective. It's not important what is happening to us, but what is important is like what we think is happening to us. So the scheme is basically situation, thought, emotion, behavior. The first is that, like, we have a certain situation, then we have a thought, like what we thinking is happening. It's not what is like the real situation, but what we are thinking that is happening. And then we have an emotion, so we will tend to feel in one way or in the other way. And then it will go through the behavior, and then we're going to act in one way or in another way. What can we do? So if we say that thought is prior to the emotion, well, what can we do to don't feel so bad? Can we do something? Maybe. We have one tool, and we have to listen to ourselves because we have an inner dialogue. We're constantly talking with ourselves. 80% of our day, we spend the day talking unconsciously with ourselves. We're talking when we're walking, we're talking when we're showering, we're talking when we're doing exercise. Now, obviously, it depends on what we say to ourselves. If your inner dialogue is negative, is pessimistic, what is going to be the consequences? The consequences will be you're not going to do something. So there is no action, or the action is not what it's supposed to be. So you're here in Barcelona and you're saying to yourself, I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to learn Spanish. I'm never going to learn Catalan. I'm never going to like patatas bravas. Okay, if you're saying that to you, what is going to happen? You're going to be on your sofa, on your comfort area. You won't be able to discover and to take an advantage to discover this new city and what it's going to bring to you. So it's clear that we need to control our inner dialogue. And how can we do that? First of all, be aware and recognize how we talk to each other. You will say, this is very easy. I promise you that it will be easy because it's a skill, it's an habit. It's like any habit, you need to repeat it until you get familiar with it. So you recognize what you're saying to yourself, you question yourself if it's true. Maybe you question yourself if there is anything that maybe is not true, why it could not be true, and then you reframe your thoughts. Reframing is a very powerful technique that we use to shift our mind and to try to see a situation, a person, or relationship in a different perspective. The last instrument, the last tools that we have, and it belongs to us, is the attitude. So every day we have the choice, we can choose, and we have the choice to decide how we're gonna react, how we're gonna deal with any situation that happens to us. Look at this, positive attitude manifests. These are all the positive aspect of being like having a good attitude in life, a positive attitude. There is no even one bad point. So maybe we should think about it. How can I improve and how can I use my attitude in a good way? So I will ask you now, I would love you to do a game with me. The game is called the 9 dots game, and your task is now to join these 9 points with 4 straight lines without lifting the pen. You have your paper. Everybody has a paper and pen, please. How are you doing? Just thinking. Oh, yeah, visualize it. This simple exercise is a very graphic way of showing how our assumptions and beliefs limit us. One of the solutions of this game was, for example, this one. I promise you there are like, I will say 5 or 6 solutions. So look at this. What happened? How many of you tried to do the 4 lines? Imagine that you had to follow and respect the 9 dots. So you had the square in your head. So you had to respect the square in your head. Did I say something about the square? Did I say you have to join the 9 points of the square? There is no square, but our beliefs and our assumptions, they limit us. So we take it as real, and they actually true. So the same happens in life. The same happens because we grow up with our beliefs. So those beliefs, at the end, they become part of our life. So it's our scheme. What is the suggestion? The suggestion is try to think, to make your brain work in a little more and open your mind. When you open your mind, opportunities comes. When you open yourself to the opportunity comes to you. So the there are lots of possibilities that will be discovered just if we try to think out of the scheme a little bit. Was good, was it? You can have it and you can try other solution of this at home. My message of today is to make you think, to try to, let's say, find the meaning on the situation that you live in, on the new reality that you live in, to think out of the box, no matter how complex it is. Every country has something to show us, something to teach us. Every country will give us the opportunity to learn, to get better, and to challenge ourselves. So let's say my message and my recommendation for today is like to enjoy this moment that life gave you in the best way possible. And remember, secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Thank you. Obviously, if you have any questions, I'm here. And if you don't mind, I just brought an exercise to bring you home with you. It's called The Wheel of Life. And this will help you to understand how balanced and fulfilled is your life in this specific moment. That's the Wheel of Life. It's divided in 8 areas, so you have to rank from 1 to 10. How is your life right now? This is going to help you to understand which area of your life you would like to improve. And if you need any help, you will find my contact details here, and I will be very delighted to help you. Thank you, guys.